Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Hi, I'm Jack Berry, and today I'm at the West Michigan Golf Show speaking with Raymond Hearn, a golf course designer extraordinaire who is feeling mighty happy these days because Ray got a real nice award for an operation he did over in Illinois at the Mistwood Golf Club.
Yes.
And you got into Mistwood up north in Michigan, didn't you, with the Barstads? Was that it?
Yeah, Hearn Barstead. He's recently passed away. His family still operates it, but our course in Chicago, one of the original investors, James McQuethy, said, Ray, I got an email from him one day, and he said, Ray, I'm going to buy out all the other investors. And I'm like, wow, well, okay, that's good, and I hope hope we get along. And we really hit it off, and he made a major commitment. And not only remodeling the entire golf course, but a brand new clubhouse. And in the end result, in my profession, you win awards, it helps your career. We won the best opening from Golf Digest, Golf Magazine, Golf Inc., and then Golf Range Magazine. So we swept the awards, and man, I'll tell you what that did for my business. Wow.
Well, that was the home of the Illinois Women's Open, wasn't it?
Yes.
That my buddy Phil Cozen started.
Yeah. I love Phil. And Phil really helped me get started in Chicago. He always said, I want to see whether Ray Hearn is a flash-in-a-pan architect. This was a home run, but then he went and looked at Island Hills in Michigan and loved that. But, in terms of Mistwood, there's a story I want to share. The owner, James McQuethy, had me sit down with the Chicago media and about the Stackside bunkers. And, Ray, for an upscale public golf course, they can be pretty penal. And so he said, let's ask him. And one by one, they said, bad idea, horrible idea. Penal, expensive. So after the meeting, Mr. McQuethy said, well, how did it go? And I said, well, Jim, I don't think it could have gone any worse. And he goes, do you want to do them still? And I said, absolutely. And he said, so do I. And I'll tell you, they've been a magnet attracting golfers from Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, and Indiana. So financially speaking, and a lot of people don't get a chance to go across the big pond to Scotland, Ireland, and England. So we lucked out. People really like them.
Have to put in a new piece of sod.
If you build them right, they say every 6 to 7 years. We had one that kind of went down a little. We had to put about 6 pieces of sod in, and that's not bad. So all the others have held up great, and it's fantastic.
You talk about the sod bunkers. I was looking at the pictures of the course that the Web.com tour just played in Panama.
Yes.
and you had a lot of white rocks, it looks like, all around.
Yes.
Good golly.
That one I love, is we've been focusing on remodeling, restoration, renovation in the United States.
You got the 3 R's, reading, write, arithmetic, and you've got renovation,
restoration, and remodeling. Yep. But I got a call from them out of the blue, and one of the owners on the board of directors, because it's owned by a group of individuals, they said, Ray, we were in Chicago, we love Mistwood. And I said, well, where's your course? And they like, Panama City, Panama. And I was like, okay, just don't get me down there during the rainy season. I said, so I went down there, and they said, Ray, we'll be honest, we're interviewing Ron Garl, who does a lot from Florida and Panama, and then Robert Trent Jones Jr. and Greg Norman. And I'm like, oh, boy, this is a group. And I was fortunate. They had us do a design contest, and we won the design contest, and it came down to Norman's group and ours, and we won. They were great to work with. And then we won the 2017 ASGCA Design Excellence Award from my group of architects.
Golf course architects. Yeah.
So it was our third. We won one for the Mistwood Golf Club and Island Hills. So we've won 3 in 5 years, and it's great to win from Golf Digest. That's a big magazine, golf magazine. Notoriety from any publication, any media source, but to get an award from your colleagues, that was special.
Now the 3 R's have kept you employed, right?
It's kept food
in
on
hard
the table,
times. Yeah.
on the table, food on the table for my family. I'd be able to pay the few employees I have a salary, and through the Great Recession, I wouldn't say we were overly busy, but we were busy. We had some wealthy clients in Chicago and a couple of country clubs, so we made it through that really well. we were fortunate.
So what do you have going now?
Right now, I always say we're not taking anything west of the Mississippi. And a group called up, said, Ray, we've got a project on the Rio Grande, and I said, oh, I can't pass that up. And so I went down there, and we got hired. But now it's the River Bend Resort, golf resort, and it's caught up in the Trump Tower in the quarter thing. So
6 holes are in the
yes,
in Mexico, or
no, they're right along the river. And if you slice your ball or draw your ball can actually start out in Mexico and come back to the United States. So, it's been on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and it's the irony of it. The family are big Trump supporters, and now they're like, well, they've sent letters to Donald Trump, and obviously, he's got a little job now, being president, that I don't think he reads a lot of golf letters, but they're pleading to him. And it's a massive project. So we've got that. Chicago, seems like we always have 2 projects. We've got the Hilton Oakbrook Resort, major project there, where we were fortunate to outcompete some of the Chicago architects. And then the Midlothian Country Club. We've had 2 projects pre-1900. And for an architect, that's scary, because if you goof that up, you've got some of the legends that have worked there, and it's a lot of pressure. Michigan, we always have a couple in our home state. We're redoing the iconic Maple Lane Golf Club in Sterling Heights for the.
Now they were 54 holes.
We're going to ranch it down to 27, and the Masheri home builders they're the owners, and they want to put some of their nice homes on the project. We're in the construction drawing phase, so we're hoping that if permits go well, maybe late 2019, early 2020, groundbreaking.
Well, that the early days, the legendary golf course superintendent Clem Wolfram was in on the design of those courses.
Yes.
And that's he had 2 sons that became golf course superintendents, Detroit Golf Club.
Legendary family.
Right.
I would call Clem on an average of once every 3 months, just with a question, and he would always take the time to answer it. And I was amazed, because he got a lot of calls from architects, superintendents, people that just really tapped into his knowledge. But we got some things going on in the East Coast, and then we're doing the old Ramshorn Golf Club. Now it's the Water's Edge in Fremont, Michigan, the old Gerber world headquarters. So that's been good. We've done some consulting, the Inn at St. John's and Great Oaks Country Club. So we're going good. We're going good.
Whether they want a 9-hole golf course, they want to expand the hotel there. They do such a strong business. That's in my neighborhood. So
and obviously you followed it in the papers, and it would be leaning toward 18 holes from 27, but it's they print they print money there. They do really well.
Of course, Hemlock has done pretty well up on the west side of the state.
Oh, thank you, and I know you've always been very kind in your critique of that.
We had a friend from Colorado and was visiting and was looking for a place to play, and they're going up the west side. I said, play Hemlock, and she liked it a lot.
I get a lot of emails on the Hemlock. We're very it's a great piece of land, and in the day when golf courses were starting to eke up in price in the $4 million range, we did the Hemlock for under $2 million. And that includes the irrigation system.
That's because you got all sand.
Yes. And as Mike Kaiser will tell you, that's a formula for success. No drainage, just the sand.
That's probably more sand than any other course you've done.
Oh, yeah. It's and we weren't shy about it. We highlighted it. And, when you have that show up, and then now Mike Kaiser's doing all the courses in Wisconsin and the area, and that's basically an old sand quarry and sand hills, so it's the way to go.
Well, as I always say, every golf course architect that's ever come to Michigan, if they got sand, they feel like they're in hog heaven.
Oh, yeah. We had sand at one other project, Sea Oaks Country Club in the Jersey Shore, and that was all sand too. And that's been very popular for us. But interesting side note on that, I said to the owner at the time, late Fred Stryker, I said, this is Pine Valley waiting to happen. And he said, Ray, I hate Pine Valley. And I was like, well, okay. And I said, what do you want? And he said, I love Augusta National. I go every year. So I'm thinking, so he goes, I want rhododendrons, I want azaleas, I want drip irrigation. And I'm like, oh boy, this is the opposite of what I wanted. But it worked out. He let me kind of favor the Pine Valley look, and I let him put in some rhododendrons and azaleas and some of the background. But it's a nice course. It's a nice course.